right, so we're finally making it to the gym for today. Way later than I wanted, but had a lot of projects and work to do. So today's gym session, we are going to be starting off with some of my core exercises for my lower abs. So if you guys are trying to strengthen your lower abs, this will be a great go-to exercise. This is also an exercise my PT gave me to help my L4, L5 bulging herniated disc. So we're gonna go over this. We're gonna do 5 repetitions, 5 to 10 repetitions. We're gonna do 3 sets. I'm gonna superset that with some of my overhead upper body prehab exercises to strengthen my rotator cuff. So if you guys wanna follow along, I'll try to talk a little bit through it. So you're gonna set up a bar or rack, whatever you have that's something stable, so that your wrist and shoulder are in a line. You can have an open fist or closed fist if you want, but the intention is to press across or press down on that bar. You're gonna flatten your back, making sure your lower lumbar spine is pressing into the back or into the floor as your feet are on the floor. So we're kind of engaging those abdominals on the lower section of your body. From here, we're gonna keep our legs together. You're gonna lift your feet and then kind of do like a little mini crunch below with the lower abs, but you're trying to make sure that as you come down, your lower abs continue to press in to the floor or the ground. You wanna make sure that you're not flattening or arching your back, so there's space or air essentially that gets between your back and the floor. I'm trying to talk and count at the same time. You also want to make sure that you're constantly pushing down. So notice that I'm not released. I'm engaged as if I'm trying to push myself away from the bar, but this should be a little mini crunch. I think that was maybe 7. Again, I'm trying to really work the lower ab, creating almost a 90-degree angle with my upper and lower leg. If my voice is shaking, I'm trying to make sure I'm pressing my lower back into the floor. I think that was about 10. Then from there, we're gonna take a little bit of break. We're gonna do 2 more sets of this, but before I do my other exercises, since I don't have a pull-up bar here in my garage gym, I'm gonna mimic some pull-ups. So I'm gonna go hands about thumb-length distance from the knurling and the smooth part. I'll extend, be very careful. Notice that I'm doing this where the bar is being pulled into the rack, not away from the J-hook. So I'll get set up, lift my body. I'm gonna swing slightly, and then I'm gonna row myself to the bar. Nice and controlled. 3, we're gonna do 10 reps. 4, squishing my shoulder blades. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you want to obviously make sure your head and body is okay from the ground, but I'm doing that to work on strengthening my backside. Like I said, I don't have a pull-up bar here, so I want to make sure I'm doing some sort of pulling motion. Training's been modified a good bit, so now we're going to go to the bench. We are going to be doing some rotator cuff exercises. These essentially are W's, so I'm going to make sure you guys can see me. Yes, perfect. We'll move the camera just a little bit closer. Alrighty. All right, so we're gonna be going right here on the bench. So I'm gonna lay on the bench. I'm gonna have my chest and belly on the floor. I recommend starting off with no weight. That will look like so. Hands will come out like a Y. Bring them together. Externally rotate to that W, and then fix the arms. Notice that I'm trying to keep my wrist and elbow and forearm kind of in a straight line as they come out and down. Go to 2.5s, then go to 5s. So for me, I've worked up to 15 reps with 2.5s. That felt pretty good for 2 sets. Now I'm gonna go to 5 pounds. I'm gonna go back to 10 reps. That's where I started with just body weight. So it looks like so. W, I'm squishing my shoulder blades back. Nice controlled. 2, squish. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting and talking is hard. 8, 9, and 10. So these are definitely challenging. I'm pulling my toes into the bench, squeezing my butt cheeks. Again, if you're new and you guys are trying this for the first time, highly recommend just the body weight. But you're creating a W here. We're trying to work external rotation. My PT gave this to me, PT/doctor gave this to me last year. I was having a lot of, I think I tore something in my shoulder from ninja practice, doing laches, swinging from object to object, bar to bar, and so that was no bueno. I still get a little bit of crunchiness in there, but it is day and night. I couldn't even hang from a pull-up bar. It was excruciating, and so these have been instrumental to helping me. So we're gonna get those back into the routine. We'll now adjust to the next exercise. So that was 1 round. We're going to do, I'll try to keep the kind of angle the same so you guys can see the entire time, so I don't have to constantly be moving the camera. Hopefully you guys should be able to see here. I'm trying to cut out Entropy's bed at the moment. All right. So that's 1 round. We're going to do a total of 3 for today. We're going to highlight these exercises. So this is for my back and shoulders. Wrist and shoulder in line, palms open or close, 90-degree angle, make sure your lower back's pressed into the floor, and then come on up. A little mini squeeze, 1, 2, focus on really pushing down on the bar, 3, little mini crunch for the abs, 4. You're trying to really focus on the lower back being pressed into the ground, as, I think that was 7 right there. As you come down, nice and controlled, right? Start off with maybe 5, and then eventually work up to 10. That was 9, maybe we'll do an extra 1, and 10. So my pinching is in the lower back, lumbar 4 and 5, and so this is gonna hopefully create some space back there, relieve some pinching. I also have some stenosis on both sides, but it's a little more my right than my left. Arms nice and straight. So you could do ring rows if you don't have this setup, or if you're not able to do this setup. Ring rows are great. Even like a TRX row is also an option. All right, so 10 and 10. We're gonna do one more set of these. I'm actually gonna do 3 sets of these, 2 sets of these, and then I'll show you guys my third exercise that I only do 1 round of. No music, make sure, because I don't want to get any copyrights. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them. Let me know what you're interested in learning more about. If you like these more unedited, longer version insights today, then just let me know. 3, 4, 5. Didn't eat enough yesterday. 6, feel a little tired, but that's okay. 8, 9, 10, perfect. So that's 2 sets of those. And then we're gonna do 1 set of these exercises with the 2.5s. These exercises are also for the shoulders, rotator cuff. A friend of mine gave them to me. He was a swimmer and he recommended doing these. He said they helped his shoulder and rotator cuff specifically when he was a full-time swimmer. Whew, out of breath. All right, let's get started. Since today's a busy day, I'm actually gonna go see my doctor. This Reagenics, got a recommendation from a friend of mine, Matt Chan. He had a lot of back issues and he's doing, or he did PRP for his back. So I'm gonna see a consult with his doctor, see if it's something that would be helpful for me, be beneficial. I'm just trying to look at options of what would hopefully release my lower back. All right. So we're gonna do 1 more set of these. Also have a client check-in, and then I have a call for this new program, or this new breather fit. Essentially, it's a tool that you could use to train your breathing. So I'm interested in learning a little more about that. So I'm trying to count my fingers here. So lower back pressed in to the ground. I think that's 4 right there. Nice, slow, and controlled. I'm trying to maintain that 90-degree angle with my feet. Nice and steady. Again, if you guys are following along, I appreciate the support. You can subscribe, you can share, you can leave a comment. All that support is supportive. I really appreciate it. If you also want to support me, you can click the links below, whether that's to support me with my shirt, product, or anything. I really appreciate it. If you guys are interested in learning more, feel free to always leave a comment below. I think that was 10 or 11. Oh, all right. And then 3 sets of 10. So I do 3 sets of 10 there, 3 sets of 10 here. Nice and easy, controlled. Just trying to work some upper body pulling. Entropy's hairs everywhere. Also, note, safety is very important. Make sure you are facing away from the bar, so make sure you're not on the outside where the bar is gonna roll out to the J-hook. Always in like I demonstrated. All right, so let's adjust. We are gonna be doing these shoulder exercises. Let's see here. Give you guys maybe a little better view. All right, also, for those that are wondering, if you guys are interested, this is a painting that a friend of mine did from CrossFit Blackridge CrossFit out of Utah. It is me doing a muscle up from 2014, the VA Games in Hawaii. And that is a glass, obviously of wine. And he named it Margot in Merlot. Even though I don't make Merlot wine, I thought it was a really cool story and tribute to being able to make that painting. So super honored he did that, it was really rad. Super grateful the support from them. All right, so this is the next exercise. Out of breath talking. All right, so we have 2.5s. They're gonna be very similar. I'm gonna start with my hands on my thighs, go out to a T, kind of mini pause out in front of me, and then back down to that T, and then down to the thighs. That's 1. So nice and controlled. 2, I wanna think hands in line with my shoulders. Excuse me, 3, palms facing down the entire time. 4, slight pause. Again, I'm trying to do a slight pause while I count. 5, and 6, and should be super tired. She's over there laying out. 7, so think arms in line with the shoulders. 8, out in front in lines with the shoulders. 9, and 10. Now when I did these, I did just my body weight, no weight. I just did through the range of motion. I maybe did like a little bit longer pause at each position, but I could feel it in my shoulders. Rotator cuff. Next, same thing, we're just gonna reverse it. So I'm starting front. I'm gonna go out in front of me like a straight arm raise, then to the side, back down in front, and down on my thighs. That was 1. So same thing applies, palms facing down the entire time. 2, hands in line with shoulders, hands in line with 3, elbows, wrists. Feet are about hip width distance apart, maybe no more narrow. That was 4 maybe, I think. 5, again, small little pause. If you need to take more of a pause, you can. 5, I think I did 5 twice. Damn it, 6. 7, 8, 9, and 1 more for 10. All right, so again, these are for your rotator cuff. Recommend starting light. These are 2.5 pounds from Rogue. If you need plates, you can check out the link below. Recommend just body weight when you're starting. I did that for about a few months when I just started doing these exercises last year. Last one, you're gonna hinge from the hips, slight bend in the knee, kind of like a reverse fly. Palms face each other, straight arm raise out to the side, and I'm gonna go overhead, and then back to that T. It's a little challenging right now because I have the mic right in my shoulder, but you want to try to keep the arm straight as possible. I think that was 3. Slight pause. It also is going to be challenging here. 4, 5, arms as straight as possible. 6, and this one was 7. This was the most challenging out of all of them. 8 for me when I started. It's still challenging, but it's gotten a lot better. I think that was 9. 10, we'll do one extra one just in case. So I typically feel it all on my shoulder, but I'm trying to remember if we did 3 sets with ab ones. I can't remember. You're gonna feel this all the way in your rotator cuff. You might feel tired. If you need a rest between them, you totally can. But those are go-to exercises. Other ones that I'm not gonna do right now, but I can talk to you guys about, a Cuban press. So if you're starting here with weights, you could do this with a dumbbells as well versus like weight plates. You're gonna come out kind of like a 45 or a 90-degree angle, rotate up, and then press overhead. You could even do this with a barbell too, but the barbell obviously you'd start here and rotate like that. I like the dumbbells or plates because you can come from a front position out to that like scarecrow position, and then up overhead. So typically when I do these, I do like 5 to maybe 8 reps, 1 to 2 times, just kind of warm the shoulders up. Today's session is gonna be super short and sweet. I'm gonna do a lot of prehab exercises, maybe some squats and push-ups for my May challenge. Whew, feeling it already. All right, so we're gonna do last set over here. I thought I did 3 already. I think I did, but what's one more, right? Let's adjust so you guys can see. Any questions, feel free to leave them below. All right. Now, if you don't have a setup like this, then try to find something where you can kind of press up against, maybe something you set up, like a band's not obviously not the same, but it will give you a little bit of resistance. Again, open hands or closed hands, whatever you prefer. That's 2. The lower back, press in the ground. Little mini crunch. 3, trying to create space in the back of the spine. 4, again, this is what was recommended to me by my PT. This is not for everybody, right? And by the way, this is just for entertainment purposes. I'm showcasing and sharing what I'm doing. Always consult your doctor, your physician, but the intention is to hopefully give you guys some motivation and some inspiration to get to the gym or get back to the gym if you've missed the gym, or if you're coming back from an injury, start slow and steady. Again, my back injury has been since last year, and it's been a pain in my if you know what I mean. And it's been so frustrating. But once you injure something and then you re-injure it, or if you injure it for the first time, you're more likely to re-injure that area versus a new spot. So take care of your body, invest in your health, invest in your body. That includes a multitude of things. 3, 7, so kind of like an inverted row versus like a pull-up, because pull-up I'm more facing down. This is kind of more at an angle. You could always do bent over barbell rows, but for this, really focus on upper body. Whew. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of some other exercises that we're gonna do. We'll adjust the camera so you guys can see. Hopefully that's a little better. All right. So no musica today. We are going to do some seated Arnold presses. So we did a quick, today's session, like I said, is gonna be really quick. We did a quick little core for my back and then quick little warm up for my shoulders. Those are essentially 2 of my exercises that I do for my shoulders. I have like 2 more and I have like 3 more for my hips. So I'll probably interchange that and do that as we warm up. But the Arnold press is what we're gonna do today. If you want to build your upper body strength, this is a great exercise. It's named obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I'm gonna warm up. We'll do 20, might have to move the mic if need be. But essentially, dumbbells start in front. I extend the arms in front, overhead rotating. I might have to move the mic. So I always like to warm up with a few reps at lighter load. Today, I'd like to use 30 pounds, 3-0. So we're gonna utilize that. If you guys have specific movements or specific training things that you follow and you wanna share, you're more than welcome to do that. We'll pull this back so you guys can see a little better. All right, so first set, we're gonna go 30. We'll probably stay here. I didn't do my split squats the other day. I did a variation of version. I'm gonna change this. Let's go right here. All right, this should be better. If you guys can hear me okay, leave a comment below. All right, so we're gonna do 8 split squats. I didn't really warm up my lower body, which I really like to do. Oof. 2, we'll just warm these bad boys up. Hips are a little tight. So a great stretch is a couch stretch for your hips, if your hips and quads are tight. I'm just gonna double knot my shoes so they don't come undone. We're gonna do some split squats real quickly. I'm gonna get super out of breath. Excuse me. Because talking and doing split squats are hard. Okay. 1. 4, halfway. So we're gonna do 8 on one leg and the other leg. 8's kind of like that sweet spot for numbers for me. Okay. So then we're gonna use my little watch, polar watch. Excuse my heavy breathing. Okay, so I typically put it on timer, and then when I finish a set, I'll hit the lap button here on the side. So then that shows me, 1, how many laps or how many sets I've done. I'm gonna try to not cough in the mic. Also, Rogue released my new shirt last month. Super excited. I cropped it personally. So obviously I cropped it a little too short right at the bottom of Just Go. But this is a new shirt with Rogue if you guys want to support. The link is below. But there's a story for the mountains, so I'm gonna talk about it while we rest. So the mountains here, the 3 mountains, 3 pillars. 3 pillars are part of my business and part of my model of coaching, but it also represents my sisters, more importantly, my sisters and I. So it was myself, Kirsten, who passed away in 2008 in a car accident, and then Remy. So the 3 pillars represent us, my sisters and I. Then I grew up in Montana. So the big sky, right, the clouds, the mountain, the sun represents the big sky, but also represents the potential out there, right? There's so much potential. There is so many things to explore and check out, and that's a reminder, right? Because the sky is open. That leads to the celestial sky, which ties into my new label down the road, but we'll get to that later. Also the river and the trees. The river represents water and flowing like water. Sometimes you have to be dynamic. The things that you thought were going to work out don't, and you have to pivot, or you should pivot. And then the trees represent being rooted, right? Staying true, having the roots to keep you grounded, but also to keep you, I would say, connected to earth, connected to nature. I think that's very important because that's what it represents for me, but also allows you to be authentic to yourself. Remember to be authentic to yourself. So that's what this shirt means. It's not just a shirt, it's not just an image, but it's a methodology, it's approach in life, it's how I live life. Obviously growing up in Montana and being in the mountains, nature is important to me. So if you guys want to support, you can check it out below. It has a special meaning to me, as well as my other shirt on there, so you guys feel free to check that out. All right, that was 2 minutes, next set. Started with Arnold presses, palms face you, and as you press overhead, palms face out. Alrighty, another set of Arnold, split squats. So there's a couple different approaches to how you want to do split squats. For the Bulgarian style, a foot is elevated on the back. I cannot talk today. 6, lack of sleep doesn't help. 7, 8, but it is what it is. So with the split squat, foot is elevated on a measure box. You can, some people say stay more upright, right? Like so. Some people say more push your butt back and then come forward. 3, I do kind of a blend of both. You will target your quads, but typically, if I haven't done these in a while, I'll fill in my glutes. Whew, super winded today, guys. Okay, so it's been almost like 20 minutes filming, or 20 minutes. I still have a couple more pieces to put to this video, but that's just gonna be a quick insight. I can't talk and work out at the same time. That's a quick insight to today's training session. I will finish up my 2 remaining sets. I'd like to do a little core work. I'll probably do some hollow rocks and V-ups. Those are some go-tos, maybe a little bit of a hollow hold. Probably just 2 rounds. I have a call in less than 30 minutes, and then I have another call after that, and then I gotta head up for my appointment. So busy day. Also headed to EDC. If you guys are interested in checking out my outfits for EDC or an interest in that, let me know. I love music. I love dance. Dancing is a release for me, just like fitness is. So if you guys are interested, feel free to leave a comment below. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please share if you found this beneficial, motivating, helpful, and I hope to inspire and motivate more people out there. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. All right, just got back from a walk and made some French press coffee with my new French press from YETI. I absolutely love it. This is a new French press, so I already made the coffee, but super easy if you've never done French press coffee. Essentially put the grounds in here, you boil some water, pour the water on there, stir it with a stick, spoon, whatever you have. Let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes. Then from there, you'll put this top on. Super easy, you just kind of twist, and then you'll pull this on top. It's a little slow because I have coffee already there. But essentially, once you have the coffee in the water, you'll put it in, twist it, push down. This presses all the coffee grinds down and then essentially lets it sit, pressing the coffee grinds down, and then you have the coffee residual. I'd let it sit for about another 5 minutes if it's really hot, and then you can enjoy the coffee. So if you've never tried French press, it's a little bit stronger than drip coffee. I personally prefer it. I like my coffee dark, strong. I don't want to see through it. It should be thick like syrup. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but if you guys are interested, you can check it out. I do work with YETI, and they sent me this, and I absolutely love it. This is the white one. This is the 34 ounces. It comes in 2 different options, but definitely recommend trying it. If you like strong coffee, you can obviously control how much coffee grinds you put in there. I also recommend using coarse coffee grinds versus the super fine ones. That'll make it a little bit easier to separate the coffee grinds from the water. So let me know if you do go after it and you do try it. Let me know what you think.